Hello and welcome to the Foyht Health and Wellbeing Podcast, where we unwrap all of the different holistic therapies and practices our members offer. Today we have Michael Whiteman joining us. Michael discovered tantric massage almost by accident during a period of intense grief and found it to be life-changing in a single session. So much so that he began training as a practitioner, and he has been teaching Pilates for over 20 years with the goal of helping people to feel more embodied and empowered and happier in themselves. To his surprise, he's learned that the outcomes of the tantric massage are exactly the same and can be arrived at in just 1 or 2 sessions. He currently lives in South Wales with his wife, and she is also a tantric massage practitioner and works from a dedicated massage space at home. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get to those questions. So, how does tantric massage differ from other massages?
So it may often be assumed to be or recognized as a kind of erotic offering. Certainly, if you do an internet search, you may come up with something which makes it look very much like that. From my perspective, that's not what it is, but rather the approach of tantric massage is that everything is divine. So that's got a lot to do with how I am as a practitioner, holding space for the person receiving, and also we may well be massaging areas of the body that let's say conventional massage might avoid. So within the boundaries that we establish before the massage with the person who's receiving, it could include massage of belly, buttocks, groin, breasts, and genitals as well. So it really is truly a full body massage.
It's really interesting. So what makes it restorative?
Thank you. So like other massage, there's an element of there is body work, which is potentially helping to release tension in soft tissues. So there's perhaps a sort of restoration of the relaxed state of tissues, nervous system as well. So there's a lot. If the session is going to work well, then we have to establish trust in the beginning, which we do through a lot of talking beforehand, and connection rituals, maybe guided breath work and so on. So we're really looking to create a feeling of safety, which has its own kind of restorative regulatory influence. I like to refer to it sometimes as an encounter with yourself. So when the session goes well and the receiver is able to really relax, because as a practitioner, my role is to offer unconditional love without judgment to the person receiving. So they are hopefully helped to really sort of drop the armor or masks that they may be used to wearing in day-to-day things, to shield themselves, maybe cover up things that they don't feel good about. So I don't like likening a human being to a machine, but there is a kind of factory reset element to things. So hopefully we can help people to really feel themselves as they are, let's say, as they were born to be, which is ideally somebody who is able to love themselves and feel pleasure in themselves without reliance on validation from the outside, or that they're only able to receive pleasure from some kind of external source. It's kind of hopefully helping them to discover what's within them already. So restorative, again, from that kind of idea of because of the lack of judgment and the safety of the environment, that they can really fully be themselves.
That's really interesting. So, who would be drawn to this kind of offering?
So to that idea of the restorative nature, in general terms or sort of broad terms, people who don't feel enough for whatever reason. So I only work with women. My wife typically only works with men. So I am very interested and in particularly enjoy working with women who, whether it's in a career or as a parent or as a spouse, whatever it might be, that they feel they're not enough, they're not doing well enough, or they're not measuring up to some sort of culturally suggested standard. But within that, I often work with women who feel they've lost connection to themselves, or they've lost connection to their body, they've lost connection to their sexuality. It's quite common, it seems, during and after menopause to have a sort of feeling of, I don't know who I am anymore. And in that case, this kind of massage can, or it's not, it's kind of beyond this kind of experience can help somebody to find themselves again.
Okay, because I mean, I've actually heard the term being thrown about, and I actually don't know too much about it. So I'm hoping you're going to answer my question today about this. So, what is a yoni massage?
Thank you. So I mentioned incorporating genital touch possibly into the massage. Yoni is the Sanskrit word for woman's genitals, and it incorporates the outside, so the vulva and the vagina. And so yoni massage is sometimes referred to as yoni healing or yoni mapping. And if we use the idea of yoni mapping, so yoni massage would typically involve some touch to the outside, and so massage can maybe create the wrong picture. So this would be extremely sensitive and sort of somewhere between caress and massage, you might say, and all of this is very much rooted in consent and collaboration with the receiver. So more than any other part of the massage, of course, because it's such an intimate thing, it's really, yes, a collaboration, so that I'm doing hopefully exactly what she wants. But so the massage of the outside of the vulva is to help the vagina to feel ready to actually have something inside it, and then the internal massage is, again, from this mapping idea, is sort of to help restore sensation, perhaps, that may be gone. So it's not unusual for a woman to feel to not feel anything inside, or to have areas that feel numb or areas that feel painful. And then the massage is really concerned with turning painful areas back to potentially pleasurable areas. And in the case that it's numb, that may mean that resensitizing, there may be some pain involved in that. Again, as a way to getting back to a let's say a pleasurable environment. So it's I'm aware that it's a strange thing perhaps to be suggesting that especially as a man, I can be helping a woman to do this. Um, it's easier for another person to be doing this than for a woman to be doing it herself, just physiologically. So yes, yoni massage is really about helping a woman to reconnect to that deepest part of herself.
I think it's really great that you are helping women. And what are the key attributes of a practitioner, would you say?
Hmm. Um, I think so. That's probably true of any kind of therapy, healing offering. Um, you have to like people, uh, and I think a reverence for human bodies is really valuable um, in terms of helping touch to be um, the right. I was going to say reverential, um, but one thing that doing this kind of work you learn quite quickly, I think, is that techniques are not so important. And actually, what's really important is your capacity to be and to stay present, um, to not have judgment, to be able to hold space when anything may come up. So it's not unusual that somebody may have an emotional release from this kind of work, especially when we're dealing with the pelvic region generally. There can be a lot of stored past emotional stuff or patterning and so on. So yes, it's not unusual that somebody may go through uh, all sorts of kind of emotional cycles in receiving this. So really to be able to remain conscious, kind of steady and calm, I think is the most important thing. Sort of unwavering, loving presence.
So, how do you manage yourself as a male practitioner in this field?
Thank you. Um, so I must say it's a huge help to me that my wife and partner is also a practitioner, and I'm not sure that I could do this if I wasn't with a practitioner. Or certainly, um, it's really valuable to have that support and to be able to kind of test ideas and uh, keep myself balanced, let's say. Um, and Another thing which is really valuable to me is there's a kind of relational model called the Wheel of Consent, which a lot of your viewers may be familiar with. I think it's probably quite common within various healing arts. Um, and in the Wheel of Consent, uh, you can be, um, in simple terms, you could be serving or you could be taking. And as the practitioner, it's very important for me to remain in the serving quadrant of the Wheel of Consent. So, in other words, what I'm doing is entirely for the recipient, and that's something that we're really kind of establishing beforehand. If I were to sort of drift out of that, then it's possible that I'm actually starting to do things for myself. So um, I'm very conscious of in a massage session, there's no element where I'm doing what I want. Um, so that while there's a lot of um, there's a lot of sexual energy potentially kind of raised within a session like this, it's not an erotic experience for me, certainly. So the yes, the kind of having that framework of the Wheel of Consent and holding myself in within that, I think is really valuable. And I would add to that as well that I was married previously, and my wife suddenly passed away. In the introduction, you mentioned a period of intense grief, which was that. And for all sorts of reasons that we don't have time for today, perhaps, doing this work now feels like a dedication to her. So there is also an element for me of kind of grounding myself in this idea that when I'm working with somebody, it's not for me, it's for the receiver, and let's say honoring all women, really. That may
I,
sound a bit.
I found it actually really insightful because what you're actually doing is just helping, I suppose, for you, helping other women out there, and your wife is helping men that are also dealing with their own things and needing that safe space and that trust to sort of work with. So I think it's really incredible.
Thank you. It's I'm really interested now in helping more people learn that this kind of work is available, because I think it sort of falls between, let's say, more conventional treatments, and often the medical profession perhaps doesn't quite know what to do with symptoms that people may present with, and talking therapy may be really helpful, but doesn't necessarily help somebody really get to the root of things. So I believe that, without wanting to blow my own trumpet, that there is, we're in this kind of middle ground, which can be, I mean, my own experience was this was by far the single biggest help in me getting through an incredibly difficult period. And I've been privileged to see how helpful this has been to the people I've worked with, and the people that my wife works with as well.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be really informative for the audience to learn about all this because I think it's not something people really talk about, and I think it's something that people probably don't really know much about either. So I found this really, really interesting and insightful. So I really appreciate your time and for joining us today. For those of you listening and you would like to find out more about Michael and what he does, you can have a look on the internet on www.lovingpresence.co.uk and you can find out more there. Thank you very much.
Thank you again for having me.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.